This is Tesla. Here are your price targets for Friday. We ended the day at 253.18. The day's low, 252.71. The day's high, 265.13. To the north side from where we are takes us to resistance and a potential take profit area, 254.49. Above that, back at the middle of the trend and the baseline, 260.23, 265.88. 268.88, and at 4 standard deviations and another level of resistance and potential take profit area, 271.70. To the south side at -3 standard deviations and a potential buy-in area, 251.54. 248.76. When I talked about Tesla yesterday, we were at 261.44. This was for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We hit resistance. And what happens at resistance? People take the profits and the stock tanks. Exactly what happened. Went to the baseline, and from here down to here is support, grinding along this line. Or I always anticipate to follow the red line, whether it's up or down or going sideways. And then we just cratered back down to support. This gap closed out to the downside at roughly 256.62. There's another gap right here. I will extend this. It looks like it touched, but it didn't. We are so close. Look at that. So roughly 252.60. I will anticipate this to close out, but overall bounce tomorrow because we are at support and the RSI is in the oversold area at 27. We could go down more and then go back up again as people buy the dip. But there's another potential gap to the downside that I've been talking about for a while that takes us down to 251.54 and then closes out at 247.96 roughly. And that would be at -4 standard deviations. And definitely if we hit that, we will definitely bounce up. But we may bounce up to go back down again. This would be a day trade, a swing trade. This again is the 5-minute time frame. And then we've got another gap that would take us down to 239.28. There are many landmines to the south side with Tesla, so just be aware of that. We could get back into the 180s. There are many gaps to the south side, but we're doing this day by day. We're not in that zone. We're not in that channel. So many swing trades again to the upside and to the downside should we get down that far. Now, I'm going to show you the RSI only on the daily time frame. It's turning down. The weekly looks like it's going sideways. And the monthly, it is going up. So that's good to see. Back to the 5-minute. See, when you look left, every time it gets down 30 and below, it does get price gets bought back up. This I use RSI as support and resistance. Now I want to show you Pfizer. I am in this trade for my mom. RSI is going up. We ended the day at 28.79, up more than 0.5%. And the day's low, 28.58. The day's high, 29.03. The 1-year price target is 31.26, an 8% return from where we are. Let me fix that. All right, let me give you some price targets. $28.79. Move this over here, $28.79. All right. To the north side takes us back to resistance, very close from where we are at 28.80. So this basically is going to grind along this line, and it's either going to obviously go up to resistance or fall down to support. If it goes in this direction, I will anticipate a buy-in. But to the north side from where we are takes us to 2 standard deviations. a level of resistance and potential take profit area at 29.03. This gap opens up at 29.05, and 3 standard deviations, 29.13, and 4 standard deviations. Do not hold your breath. That price will get to this at 4 standard deviations in one day. It is not common, and when it does, you can bet price will fall back down as people lock in their profits and they run. This gap will close out at 30.35. We are not in that zone. We are not in that channel just yet. Something to be aware of. We're going to have a lot of rides to the upside and to the downside before we close this out. Ignore all these other lines. There are gaps to the downside, which we are not there just yet either. And to the south side at support, 28.62, 28.52, and 28.41. If we hit this line, and this line, I will anticipate a buy-in as people buy the dip. If we go from here down to the next line, that is another level of support and then another level of support. And if we grind our way back up, this turns into resistance. Looking left, we didn't quite make it to this line, but close enough to support and rip to the upside at resistance. And then we made our way down and grinding sideways. Here is support and a buy-in, support, a buy-in. This gap closed to the downside at 28.33. This gap closed to the upside at roughly 28.54, so we're done with that one as well. But notice the sell-off here at resistance, buy-in right here at support, and we've got a teeny weeny gap right there. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I've got a massive cold I just caught. And, oh, it's terrible. All right, that's going to end it for me. If there is a stock that you would like me to go over, please let me know. And thank you for watching.